Let's introduce you to the main concept that we're going to be covering today with Abinadi, this prophet who comes to town. Actually, he dwelled among them, it tells us in chapter 11. Here's the setup. King Zeniff dies, leaves Noah in charge of his people, his son. Look at chapter 11, verse 1. Now it came to pass that Zeniff conferred the kingdom upon Noah, one of his sons. Therefore Noah began to reign in his stead, and he did not walk in the ways of his father. Something that is really powerful in Scripture is if you can put on these scriptural lenses. There are lots and lots of ways to look at Scriptures, and what we're sharing today or at any time is not the only way to interpret a block of Scripture. But sometimes it's fun to look through different symbolic lenses at different characters, at different stories, at different events that occur. If you put on the lens of saying, here's King Noah, and I'm seeing a real person who lived over 2,000 years ago, and I'm seeing how he acts. But if I see him as a type or a shadow of the devil, what would Lucifer do if he had a body? Well, right out of the chute, he did not walk in the ways of his father. He seeks things that are rooted in whoredoms and all manner of wickedness, verse 2. He's putting a tax on the people. He's trying to get people to do the work so he can get the joy, the enjoyment out of it, and the pleasure. He's, verse 6, the people are laboring to support his iniquity. And he's deceiving them with vain and flattering words. Everything you see as you study through on your own, verse 1 through 19, for me, and I'm just speaking for me, the story becomes way more applicable, way more relevant and engaging and meaningful for me if I stop just reading about a guy who lived 2,000 years ago, who died so long ago. He's not part of my life. I really don't care about King Noah himself. But this guy is absolutely trying to influence my life and yours. And he's alive and well today, working very hard, using these same tactics and techniques that are coming out of the story of Noah. So we would just invite you, as you read those first 20 or 19 verses of chapter 11, to read it through this lens of seeing what you can recognize as variations on a premortal theme of how Satan acted in heaven and how he's acting today, trying to get us to follow him. Jump over to verse 29. Now the eyes of the people were blinded, therefore they hardened their hearts against the words of Abinadi. That's what Satan is doing today to try to get us to be blind to the truth, to the things that God is giving us through his prophets. He's trying to harden our hearts and blind our eyes, because then it's way easier to deceive us and get us to do all these things back in chapter 11, verse 1 through 19.